Wow. This is one of those situations where it's good to be wrong. Gervonta Tank Davis goes all 12, majority draw against Lamont Roach. In this video, I break down what went wrong for GTD, what's next, and the state of boxing. This is your boy JG. This is the Punch Report. Let's just get into the content. Before that, like, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified when the latest and greatest drops. Now, the card just wrapped up. I want to talk about my prediction. I had Gervonta Tank Davis winning this bout really in two ways. Stoppage to the body, round 7. The power side, left-hand side for the southpaw fighter, dig into the body. Or earlier than that, headshot 1 through 4 knockout. One of the scenarios where I'm okay with being wrong. Now, the thing of it is this. Gervonta Tank Davis, he found a home for that left hand to the body to Lamont Roach. Or is it a right hand? It doesn't matter. The body work for GTD was crazy. Lamont Roach showed up and he fought. One of the things that I think is interesting is this. Lamont Roach was okay with the idea of getting knocked out bad. He really was, because that's how he fought. He stood in front of Tank and traded counter shots until the bout was over. I think there's a psychological effect if you're a guy, a notable puncher like Tank Davis, that has on you. Lamont Roach showed up to get knocked out and was okay and comfortable with that. And said, I got to get my offense off. No matter what happens here, no matter what he throws at me, I got to get my offense off. He counterpunched beautifully. Each time he went back to the corner, he was more and more confident. And he figured out a way to get himself in a position to get a majority draw. I had it 113, 115 for Tank. Close fight. I'm not going to say that I'm mad at a draw, but I got to give Tank Davis a lot of credit from this perspective. He said, let's do it again. We'll do it in New York. Shout to Lamont Roach. He did his thing. Let's do this again. I want to run it back. In the day and age that we're currently operating in, 2025, fighters don't do this. You got an undefeated fighter, a guy with some notoriety, made some money, gets in a tough bout, they're going to move on. They just, oh, no, you got to earn it, blah, 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 blah. I really appreciate it. And Tank Davis was the first interviewed in the ring. He explained his position. He talked about the fake knee that he took or whatever. He said, I got my hair done and, I had the grease. It was in my eye. It was fucked up. It was in my eye. I'm not mad at that. I do think that he got a superstar call, if you reference the NBA, because you can't turn away from your opposition and take a knee and then not get counted out. That's wild. And then it goes on the scorecard. But anyway, I digress. I appreciate Tank Davis getting on the mic and saying, tough fight, close fight, feel like I pulled it out last 3 rounds. Lamont Roach, let's do this again. In New York, let's make it happen. That's a sign of a true champion. And I believe when he says that, unless I'm proven wrong, in the way that the fight went, that's an opportunity that's legitimately on the table. That's dope. For Lamont Roach, he hops on the mic, he says, hey, I thought we got this done. Shout out to Tank Davis. I would love the opportunity to do it again. Love that from Lamont Roach. If you ask me our prediction right now, knowing what I know, seeing what I've seen, Lamont Roach's ability to counterpunch, which we talked about, his ability to stand in tough, which we talked about, I have him getting stopped in the rematch. I think Tank Davis made some tactical errors. Lamont Roach has 10 knockouts in his professional career. He's not a notable puncher. Tank treated him as such. Now, Tank got hit with some good counter shots, but not in a manner where you have to give him the respect that Tank gave Lamont Roach. He gave him a lot of respect. And this is no disrespect to Lamont Roach. He showed up and said, if I get stretched out, then it is what it is. And he fought and he deployed his offense. Like, this shit is actually pretty wild. Shout out to Lamont Roach and team. There are some tactical errors that Tank Davis made. Too patient, too calm. You would say, well, calm's an issue? Yeah, when a guy is doubling you up on output, he's forcing you to be deadly accurate, which Tank Davis was. But it was a majority draw. That's not a winning position for a Tank Davis. You can't operate in that space. I definitely want to see this fight again. I definitely will favor Tank Davis, and I will still go by stoppage. It's one of these scenarios because the fight was so good, you're definitely okay with being wrong. I had Tank Davis winning by stoppage in two ways. Lamont Roach is not a notable puncher, but he was able to operate in a space coming up to 135 that made things uncomfortable for Tank Davis. That's a reality. I appreciate Tank Davis's willingness to be honest and say, that was a good fight. I'd like to do it again. Let's do it in New York. He wins. Like, you draw and you win if you're Tank Davis, right? You draw and you win. For those of you who are watching this video right now, you don't have to answer the question now. You don't have to answer it now. Go back, rewatch the fight. I watched the fight in real time. Close fight, compelling fight. I did not like the way that Tank fought. I think it fed into the strengths of Lamont Roach, but he still managed to land big shots, eye-catching shots, really dig to the body. That's the shot that I said that he would be able to finish Lamont Roach on, and he found that shot on repeat. That stabbing left uppercut to the body. Lamont Roach was conditioned. He was ready for that. What are your thoughts? Tank win? Lamont win? What do you want to see next? I haven't seen the video, but I just I pulled up a browser and I saw Shakur saying that he thinks that Lamont won, which is fine. Shakur Stevenson is a prize fighter at the highest level of the sport, but we wade into the waters of hate. And the thing of it is this. You had a draw, Tank Davis, Lamont Roach. When they rematch, because I believe they will, and I believe that Tank's a man of his word, no matter what Shakur has going on, it's going to do more numbers than whatever he's doing. And this is the conundrum that a guy like Tank Davis is in, where even when you look good and win or are great, you got to answer questions. But I digress. This is your boy, JG. This has been the Punch Report. Please be so kind. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified when the latest and greatest drops. Do you think Tank Davis won? Do you think Lamont Roach won? Do you want to see a rematch? And we out.